Welcome to your next step up the self-publishing mountain.
I'm Matilda Swift, author of quintessentially British cozy mysteries.
And I'm Samantha Cummings, author of young adult books about magic, myths and monsters.
I've written the books,
Changed their covers,
tweaked their blurbs,
tried tools from a dozen ads courses.
and I'm still not seeing success.
Now, we're working together to plot and plan our way from barely making ends meet to pulling in a living wage.
Join us on our journey where we'll be mastering the pen to snag that paycheck.
Hello and welcome to Pen to Paycheck Authors Podcast. I'm Samantha Cummings, here with my co-host Matilda Swift, and we're here to write our way to financial success. We're two indie authors with over a dozen books between us and still a long way to go towards the quit the day job dream. If that sounds familiar, listen along for our mastery through missteps journey. Each week we cover a topic to help along the way, and this week we're reflecting on what we've learnt on the path to 100 episodes. Oh my god. But first, what are your wins and whinges of the week?
Oh, so many. I genuinely can't believe it's only been a week. It's been like such a different week for me, so it's felt really long. I have got two sort of month-long activities, challenges. So they're both wins. They feel really good. They feel like exactly what I should be doing, and I feel fantastic about doing them. But also, I have got some associated whinges to do with them. So the quickest, easiest one to describe is I made myself an advent calendar with like scratch off material, so I can scratch off each day, and underneath it I've written 25 different mostly cozy mysteries, some slightly similar books. They're all Christmas themed, and I'm reading one a day. And my slight whinge is I could have done with gaming the system more and like putting some books under certain days. So in the beginning I had quite a few short books in a row, and now I've had quite a few long books in a row, and I'm behind. So I keep starting the day with like an hour of reading for the day before to do, and then I have to make the video to go with it to scratch the next one off, and then only after that can I do my day's activities, which is like not the law, obviously. This is just what I made for my own back, and also it's all fine. So it's useful, it's all learning. I will do it slightly differently next time, but it has been really fun. It has been so informative to read, because I'm only on day 7, just to read these books back to back. And there's quite a variety in there on purpose, and I can really see how by the end of 25 days I will feel like I know exactly what to write. I will also be able to reflect better on my own work and my own writing. Like we've been talking about craft for a few weeks recently. It's also making me really observant of craft. I think we said a couple of weeks ago, like I did a master's in creative writing, and it's only when you do that and you read like 10 prologues in a row that you realize like why everyone is so against prologues. Because like one prologue is fine, but like 25 prologues is like the worst thing you've ever encountered in your life. You feel like you're in purgatory. So these books have prologues, but they have similar things where like, oh, I keep seeing the same annoying thing over and over again. So I definitely don't want to do that. Or the same great thing, or this seems unusual, I'm going to do this. So big win. The other big thing I'm doing at the moment is a serialization of my next novella in my series, in my Parchment Paper Mystery series. It's a Christmas book. I am serializing it on my website, and there's a chapter a day. And partly timing reasons, partly because the series is set up to only have novellas be 21 chapters. The actual story started on the 21st, no, on the 5th. It says 21 chapters, and then there'll be a chapter every day. And I had a few introductory chapters, or introductory pages.
Prologue.
Just get people in. Yeah, not a prologue. It was introducing like Cambridge and recipes. No prologues here.
Okay.
And someone even commented like, "Oh, I really liked having the little introductions," because I wanted to be more open to people who weren't reading the series, because it goes back in time, so you don't have to read the series at all. It's before the rest of the series. And that has been really nice. It has fulfilled all of my aims. I wanted to get more people to my website, and I have had thousands of hits on my website. I wanted to get some more affiliate link purchases, which I've got some, not many, but I have mostly been promoting my own stuff the last couple of days, so that'll be fine. I hope that'll increase. And I also wanted to do something for my readers, and it has felt really nice to like putting a free story out there. And yeah, it's been really good. And I feel really happy about what I'm doing. And I also feel like this year is like a test run for when I have a Christmas series out next year. I'm going to do this on like an enormous scale, and I really now feel like, oh, I'm glad I'm having like a test run just to see the kinks in the system of like reading one book a day without any control of the length is actually not ideal.
Yeah.
And also this, I didn't choose to do this before I started. I only sort of decided to do it when I had started and I have time to do it. Is I'm making a video every single day to go with both of these. So making a video scratching off the coins to release the book and reveal the book underneath, and I'm also making a video to introduce each chapter every day. And both of those, they take time to like set up the, you know, stand and the lights and a nice background, and record it again when I say something stupid, and then edit it a little bit and then upload it. It's like, it's not huge amounts of time. I definitely would never choose to do that if I had a day job. And actually, even with my job, quote unquote job of like reading a book a day, it's quite a lot of work. But I do think it really ties into my like being more human and being more present with people. Yes, so I know I rambled a lot, but I think both of those have felt really useful, and I think we should do an episode on like being more human at some point and talking about more things like this that we could be doing, because it has felt like exactly the right thing to do. So yes, I've got whinges around both of those, but really whinges that I have caused myself from being just like a little bit over the top. Both overall feel like wins. How about you?
My last week has been fantastic. I'm only going to do wins. I can't really think of anything that I would whinge about other than just being a tired old woman who is super tired just because she had to take 3 trains. But I was in Harrogate last week living my best life. And Harrogate is, for those who don't know, it's a town in North Yorkshire. And it is like
it's a spa town, right?
It's
where you can take the waters.
Yes. So it's like in Victorian times, people would go there for the healing properties of the water. So there's like a lot of historical things there, like a big pump museum and beautiful gardens. There's all sorts of stuff. But I was there specifically to relax. Usually I go to write, but I'm not writing this month. So I just went to relax and read, and I read a whole book in a week, which I haven't done for a while. And just generally had the best time. In like my dream life, I will live there at some point. And every time we go, it always feels like an inch closer to making it really happen. Because it's just somewhere that I really feel is the place that I see myself living. It's hard to describe. It just is like all my vibe. Great restaurants, 2 cinemas in the town, you know, like perfect for me. And coffee, the coffee is so good. The gardens are so good.
There.
There's 2 Bettys actually. There's one. Yeah, so there is the Betty's in the town centre, and then a short walk, depends on what you consider short. I think it's a short walk. A short walk just out, that you can go through the woods and stuff, go through some woods. There is a place called Harlow Car. I think that's what it's called. I always kind of make up the name. And it is a National Trust garden and a Betty's tea room.
Okay.
So
yeah, we should explain. Betty's is like a very famous tea room that's only localised in this area.
Yes.
It's like a family-owned business, but they also is a very big business. They also own Yorkshire tea.
Yeah, it's great. I hit them both up because on one night, even though it was we pre-booked it and it was the day where we had torrential downpour, which I'm sure you were affected by as well. I think it was on Thursday.
Where I live, it rains all day, every day.
Yeah, there was like
in the rain.
A super bad rainstorm all day.
That's just my life.
Yeah. And that's the day that we walked up to Betty's, and then we went on a glow walk, which is where they put lights all in the gardens, and there's like light installations and music, and everything's just lit up, and it's so beautiful. And we did that in the pouring rain, and it was so much fun. And I highly recommend just embracing the rain when things like that, things like that happen.
I forgot I did a murder mystery train.
You did do a murder mystery train.
which I feel like we're having the most English conversation ever. So I will put a link to Betty's in the show notes, because it is lovely and they do deliver globally, and they have lovely things.
Yes.
But yes, speaking of very British things to do, I did a murder mystery steam train dinner thing, which was lovely. It was like my birthday present activity with my family and my gift from my brother, and it was wonderful. But it's so English that it starts on the platform, and there's like a solid 15 minutes sat on the platform watching like a little pantomime, a little like silly theatre thing.
Oh,
It's for adults. The whole thing's for adults.
yeah.
And it was like it's December. It's into December, and the well planned out activity, very organized thing included English people just sitting on a platform, cold platform, for 50 minutes watching a little skit about elves, and they'd all had some sort of accident in Santa's workshop, and one of them was secretly the culprit, and one of them had died. And then you get on the train, and then you eat a lovely three-course Christmas dinner on the train, and then all the elves walk up and down the train. You have to interview them while you're eating, and then you get off. There's more time on the platform, the cold platform.
A train platform in the UK is the coldest place on earth.
It is.
It's crazy.
No, it's like it's designed to be cold. It's like, let's
Yeah.
funnel the wind right down here.
Yeah.
But I feel like nothing feels as like Christmassy and English as like sitting in the cold. And just be
Yeah.
like, let's all pretend this is normal. There's no way this can be improved. No, we just have to be cold. But it was lovely, and it was a really nice evening. And we did guess the correct culprit, but it's a very rigorous, tightly scored system. So you had to give evidence, and we were missing a key piece of evidence.
Oh.
Yes, and so we did not get enough points to come first. It was a very large train for the people guessing. So we didn't win, but it was very fun. But yeah, it was lovely, and I feel so festive.
Yes,
Also, I should stress,
I
it's a
also
steam train to
feel
nowhere.
festive.
All the steam trains in the UK are like heritage lines.
Yeah.
And it just goes in one way and then comes back again.
Yeah. Yeah, I did see an old steam train in Leeds train station the other day. And I
Lovely.
kind of peered through the windows as I was walking past, like, oh, you're gonna have such a good time. I haven't been on one of those dinner trainy sort of things, but it is a dream. I would love to go on
Yeah,
one.
it's really good. I live much nearer a different heritage steam line train thing, which also does, I think, dinner things as well. So maybe I'll go on another one. In fact, I do have a reason to go to the train station soon, so maybe I'll take another steam train journey. It goes past where the Railway Children was filmed. I feel like we're just getting deep into English cultural things now,
We
which
are, yes.
is maybe not a thing to everyone. But it's our 100th episode, guys. We're celebrating. This is like we're being more ourselves than ever by just talking about things that no one else understands.
Yeah. Sorry.
But it is our 100th episode, and we are looking back on past episodes to see what we've learned and how we've changed. Which episodes did you listen back on?
Okay, so I listened to 2 episodes because I left it too late to listen to more, as usual. Just a typical me thing. The first one I listened to, I thought I was looking through our backlist, and I thought I have to listen to the Q1 review, the first Q1 review that we did, to see what we thought was super important. You know, what are the things that we're talking about. And funnily enough, I think it's that episode, you mentioned the Railway Children. You mentioned something about going for a walk and going
Lovely.
past the place
Yeah.
where the Railway Children was filmed. Yeah,
I do love that film.
Yeah, it's a great film.
It's a good book as well, but the film is lovely.
Yes. And yeah, we had been talking about all the things that we thought we should be doing, the things that we had done. And I actually don't think, listening back, I thought I would listen back and I would think that we sounded less like ourselves, or like more guarded or unsure about what we were talking about. But actually, we just sounded like we recorded the episode yesterday.
Yeah, that is what I thought about my episodes as well. So I listened to 5 episodes from around the same time. So I listened to all from the first 6 months. So I'll listen and I'll put them in the show notes as well. So I listened to the 4th episode, when money means mayhem, the 6th episode, when niches get riches, 18th episode, when books are soda cans, 20th, when buyers become fans, and 23rd, when routines become the dream. And I kind of wanted those because they're all like most like money and mindset things. Like even when they're business stuff, they're kind of business about changing your attitude to your own work.
Yes.
And I would say all of them sound like we could have recorded them last week, which I think actually not great.
No, I think it's fine, because I think that our patter, like our casuality, if you will, and our yeah, of course it is. If I say it's a word, and how comfortable we are talking to each other and recording, I think that is, like, we figured that out quite early. I didn't think we figured that out quite as early on, but we really did. And I think that that's good. I think that I'm glad that we haven't professionalized the formats, because I
Do you think everyone else is glad about that though? Because I think
I don't. Unfortunately,
we could jabber less about the real children.
don't care. The I think probably what we should learn is that our intro chats always seem just a little bit too long, and maybe we could try and time those better.
Yes.
But
I did also notice from the previous episodes they were like between 30 and 45 minutes, and now we tend to go be like 45 minutes to an hour. So maybe less intro chat is a good thing.
Yes.
We could set a time limit on it.
We probably should set a time limit on that.
I was gonna say, I think the thing that sounded the same is like a lot of things we were saying are stuff that we're still saying, and that didn't feel well. Sort of that didn't feel fantastic, but also I think in some. I remember thinking at that time, like we often would say we're going to do something, and then the next week be like, "Oh, why did I think that was a 1 week thing?" And I need to spend more time on it.
Yes.
But I do think almost everything we resolve to do, in some way, I'm still not where I want to be with it, which didn't feel great.
Yeah. So in the Q1 review, what really came across to me is that we were just really invested in tackling everything that we talked about as quickly as possible. But as though the things that we were coming up with were just a one and done thing.
Yeah.
And definitely at this point now, it's not just a one and done. It's just adding something else to the mix. So it's just trying to figure out how to add that into everything else rather than doing it once and forgetting about it. So that was fun for us to think. We were just so positive that we could nail everything.
One of the episodes, maybe one of the money ones was like, I need a business plan. I'm going to make a business plan. And like, I still don't really have a business plan because like I've made various things that you could call a business plan, but they don't feel right, and I don't follow them because they're not like I'm changing so much about the way that I want to run my business in terms of like getting bigger and bigger all the time with ideas, and I think I don't really have a business in that. Like I have books, but I don't have a sense quite yet of like what I'm doing still.
Yes, concur. I feel the same way. We're running a baby business in that we're doing all the right things, but it's just not professional enough. So we have books, but I don't have a plan on how to sell books that are like on my backlog. So I don't have a good plan for that yet. So I feel like I can't really put that into a business plan. Like, once a book gets to a year old,
you'd be an absolute lie.
Yes, exactly. Like I wouldn't have anything. Like I wouldn't have any proof that it worked or that I was going to do it. And and things like I'm not wide, or I don't have different ways to sell books. I'm just very I'm still thinking quite small about where I can sell books and how I can sell books, because expanding on that right now feels too much. So until I feel like I've got a grasp on multiple products, like or different variations of one product, I don't think I'll feel like I can do a business plan until I know, like, I've got an audiobook of this, I've got a paperback, I've got this, the paperback's available here, the Kindle is in K. Until I have more things like that, I don't feel like a business plan is really worth anything to me, because it's just I might as well just draw a picture of myself with holding a book and be like, that here's like an accurate selfie of me. It's like, no, this is just like a stupid sketch you've done of yourself.
With, like, crown on your head, but like, I'm the queen of the world. That's how real it feels to like make a business plan. I do really feel like I feel 100% better than we were when we started, like when we were doing this.
Yes.
Yeah. And I do feel like I know more, but I still feel like I'm not running a business, and I couldn't make a business plan, right? I couldn't say, if I invest X thousands of pounds in my business, I will do this, this, and this with it, and I'll make this much money. Like, I still just feel like I've been making things up, and I don't know how people get to those numbers or that certainty that isn't just making stuff up. Is everyone just making stuff up? They're not. They can't be.
I don't know. I don't understand other people, like, categorically. I feel like other people are weird, and I don't know what they're doing. And even if I was to ask somebody who was like a pro, to explain their business plan to me and explain their business, I wouldn't. I'm not at a point in my career where I would even understand it. I don't
Yeah.
think that I would understand it.
I think I'd be like a little kid being like, but how do you know?
Yeah,
That's what I want to know. Is like, how do you
yeah,
know?
yeah.
Because I could do loads of things, right? And like, because I've got savings at the moment, so I could decide to say like, okay, I'm going to take off 6 months worth of my savings that like I could use on living expenses and put it all into this sort of ad because then I'll make the money back and some profit. But it's like I could do, or I could spend longer writing, or
Hmm.
I could focus my attention on social media. Or like I still don't know. And like
Yeah.
that feels really surprising that like I don't
Hmm.
that's what sounded very similar to as a year ago. I feel much more confident about my own ability to try things and like learn from them.
Yeah.
Like the cereal and doing more on social media this month, like that feels like a
Hmm.
worthwhile test and I feel like I've got reasons for it and I'm doing it and I can see the benefit of it.
Yeah.
But I still don't if a bank was like, oh, if you give us a really good business plan that you can explain and defend, we will lend you £10,000. I'm like, I
I th-
can't.
I think that it's in my head. It's like if somebody gives me 10 grand, they're just going to ask me what I'm going to spend it on, and I can do a list of what I could spend stuff on, but like you say, like I don't know if that's right,
Yeah.
and it feels too much of, I don't want to say a risk because it's not that I'm risk averse. It just feels like I
Feel like a
should,
waste.
yeah, like I should feel more sure of the
Yeah.
fact that it's going to turn out okay. Or I'm gonna make something in return, and I don't believe that right now. I'm gonna make
Yeah.
money in return of an investment that I put into something, which might sound like really sad, but I'm not sad about it. I just don't think I'm there yet, and I'm okay with that because I really
Hmm.
have come to terms with where I'm at right now, and I think I'm so far beyond like season one. I'm so far beyond that point, but I also am happy to accept that I'm also so far beyond the next point or so far behind the next point. Like I know
Yeah.
there's something else, there's a bigger thing for me to learn in the future, and I'm fine not knowing it right now. Whereas back then I
I
think
think
I
I'm not
wanted
fine
to. Yeah, but you're never
not knowing
fine.
it.
But like back listening to the Q1 review, we were so like we were so desperate to try and understand things and make sure we were doing things right that it
Mm.
was probably hindering us. But we've both come
Mm.
quite a long way in that we are more, we make decisions based on like gut feeling, but also information that we've gathered for ourselves. So we're far more trusting in ourselves and the decisions that we're making, and I think that that's
Mhm.
something to be that's a really good place to be, is to know that the decisions that I make now are not because I'm like, oh, I should, like, is this the right thing? I don't know. I should be doing this, but should I be doing that thing over there? It's like I'm past that. Okay, I'm fine
Yeah.
doing the stuff that
I
I've
think,
picked.
yeah, I think that is true. And I think the areas in which I don't know, the different areas to like not knowing them before.
Hmm.
Because I think previously the stuff that I didn't know, like I definitely understand more now and I can see it more now about like essentially it's not even vaguely about the book. Like the contents of the book are largely irrelevant. So like I said, I'm doing this like read 25 books in this month. Um, and they've been really variable quality and some of them are, I think, written as like quick, easy reads. So it's not like saying they're variable quality in terms of like some of them are good and bad. I think some of them are written to be, you know, more valuable, as in like you could charge a higher price for them. Some of them are written to have more volume of sales and like be like a quick and easy read. So, and I was saying this before we started, like what really surprises me is they have pretty similar ratings. Like
Hmm.
most of the books I've chosen, like it's like every book's got like a 4.3 rating.
Yeah.
And it can be from hundreds and hundreds of ratings. And like the quality of the book is meaningless. And I think that took me so long to understand because when you're advertising and when you're trying to advertise, you're trying to promote your book, it's like you don't know like what the issue might be. Like, is it that you're not advertising well? Is it that the book isn't good? Is it that you're not to market? Is it that like you just haven't found the right readers yet? And there's so many things you're like, I can't see I can't see what I'm looking at. And now I feel
Yeah.
like I can see what I'm looking at, and I absolutely know like the book is irrelevant.
Yeah.
It doesn't, like, whatever book you write is the book you got, right? That is your product to then take to market and sell. And like what you might be selling is a delicious, deep fried, greasy, sugar covered donut, right? And that's like not a food that you're going to charge a lot of money for. It's not a food that you're going to suggest people take like 2 dozen of, or that they buy every day. It's like a guilty pleasure, right? And it's like a fun, delicious, enjoy your life and eat this. You only live once sort of food. And like next to you might be someone who makes wedding cakes. And that is 1,000% a different audience. Like, it doesn't matter what you're making, whether you're making donuts or wedding cakes. You have to sell what's in front of you. You have to sell what you made. And that, I think, took me just so long to understand. And I feel like stupid. Do you know what I mean? Like, it feels so obvious. And I don't feel stupid. I don't feel bad about it. It's like, and now looking back, like, I think the person in the past was like, why would you not see that? But like, you can't see what you can't see. And I think I'm due a revelation about like the finance and business side of it, like that. Of just like, it's irrelevant what you write. Like, whatever you've written is what you've written.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
That's trivializing, right? I'm not saying write nonsense. I'm saying
no.
write the best book you can and like make it as to market as you can. But like, your job is to figure out who to sell it to.
Yes. Yeah. Which I feel like we have talked about in the soda can episode. We did touch on that.
Yeah.
And that's a long lesson to learn because you're so close to your book, and it is so difficult to see like it, and everyone knows this. You write your book, and then when this is like the ongoing joke, you see it on social media a lot. Somebody will do a little fun video about being so proud you've written a book, and then someone asks what's it about, and you're like, I don't know.
Yeah, there's a murder in it.
Yeah, like that's a long lesson to learn, is to write your book.
Yeah.
And then stand back from it and be like, right, so now I have to actually look at the shape of this thing and figure out where it fits in the shapes of everybody else's things. And
yeah. And obviously, like, you'll be planning this before one, right? You'll be planning your marketing before you start writing. You'll be thinking, like, how's it this genre? So I'm not saying, like, write any old book and then market it. I'm just saying, like, you know, I'm not going to write like literary fiction and try and sell it as a cozy mystery. That's pointless. So I'm obviously going to try and write a cozy mystery. But like, there's quite a variety in that genre. I think what I have found, I know I've interrupted you, I'm so sorry. What I found super interesting is every day I'm making a video talking about the book I just read. And like, I also have a weekly newsletter where I talk about the books I'm reading. And like, it's so useful to try and articulate what is interesting and good about that book. And then to be like, okay, I should be doing this for my books.
Yes,
It's bad and better.
I just started that. So when we spoke last week about our reading plans and what we were looking to do for our next books and stuff, like planning series is reading books in our genres and trying to take things away from it. I just started a journal, like to write down what I thought about the books that I've read. And first things first, I've never really done that before. I've kind of tried it and I've never really done it, and I found it very difficult because I've never critiqued a book really, like, for something to take away for myself.
I was gonna say, you have an English degree, right?
Yes, yeah. Like, I've never read a book before. No, I've obviously critiqued books for a purpose, but it wasn't like for a personal purpose. It was like, yeah, I can read this book and tell you what themes, because I focus really on children's literature. So I obviously, it's like, oh, I can pull out themes of childhood and stuff from books, and it's just different doing it for yourself and trying to put yourself into the shoes of your potential reader. It's like, oh, if I like this, could I put this sort of thing into my books? That is just like a different mindset for me, and I struggled to do it. But then once I started and I got like a couple of pages in, because I had a lot to write, like just basically like journaling. It was really fun to figure out the stuff that I liked and that I didn't like. And it felt like a stupid revelation. It felt like a stupid epiphany. Like, oh,
Yeah.
I do
This sort
like
of
that.
100
And I
episodes
don't,
is
yeah.
we're quite stupid.
But I'm fine with that. Like, I'm not a smart, I always say this, I'm not a smart person. I'm not a genius.
I hate when people say
I'm not, like, I'm just of average intelligence, and I'm okay with that.
I think you've not met enough people if you think that.
Yeah,
A lot
that's
of
actually
people
very
are-
true. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm the smartest person I've met. But yeah, it's just
But yeah,
it's,
so I think
it's fun to learn, like to continuously learn, and maybe we should be further along than we are, but I'm kind of okay being a slow
I
learner.
don't know if we should be further along. I think I spent a long time working in the education industry, and I worked in Hong Kong where you can kind of go to two streams of school, and you can either go to a local school. So this is like the government schools, and everyone can have a free place there. And there's a one where you have to pay some money, mostly might pay no money, but most of them are you speak the local language, and it's very, very focused on getting like exam grades and like trying to be at the top of the class. And then there's another stream called international schools, though again anyone can go to those, so that both of them are open to everyone who lives in Hong Kong. For international schools, you pay a fair bit of money, and you're usually aiming at international exams like IB or GC and A levels. And where I taught, we often had students from both types of schools, and they might even be in the same class together. And you'd get students at the beginning of secondary school, and they'd be trying to write an essay. And the students who were at local school and usually weren't learning in English, and they didn't speak English at home usually, and they were going to very, very rigid schools, often their writing was very good at the beginning of secondary school. Very precise and accurate and well expressed. And these students who were usually first language English speakers or spoke English at home for the most part, went to school speaking English all day, had very expensive teachers, would write absolute nonsense for the first few years of secondary school, like real gibberish, which like if you've ever read an essay written by like a 13, 14-year-old, you will know what I mean. Just like all over the place, like 1,000 ideas mixed together, and they'll hand it in looking excited, like, this is terrible. Nothing in here makes sense. And then the next couple of years, the students who go to the local system, they just don't really improve. Like they stay the same, they get just a slightly longer essay or a slightly more polished essay, but like they don't really improve. And the students who go to this international stream, they have been spending time on 1,000 different skills, almost like a broad base of 1,000 different skills. And when they start to kind of bring those together and coalesce those, they make a far better essay. And that's what their exams require. So I'm not saying one system is better than the other, but like their exams require a much better, more complicated essay than the students going to local school, because they're taking language exams or second language exams. So the students, if you look at one snapshot in time of they're all like 12 years old, you would think one set of students is much, much better than the other. You'd think the local school students are much better and would always be better. But then you look 2 years later, and the international school students are worlds ahead. And I think that what I'm hoping is the case is we are in that stage where we're improving 1,000 skills at once, and like we're cooking 100 footballs down a field. It's very slow work, but at the end of it, and the person kicking one football down a field will be much faster, and they'll get one football to the end really quick, but at the end they've only got one football. And we are kicking 100 footballs down the field, for another tortured analogy. 100 footballs going down the field. It will take us longer to get there, but at the end of it, we've got 100 footballs, and
I like this.
we've filled the net.
One.
Yeah.
Yes, okay. I like that one a lot. That feels good. That feels like a really good analogy of what we're doing and where we're at. Yes. I'll take it. 100 footballs, please.
Yeah, because I do feel like we are still, I think what feels useful is, even though there's episodes from like, I listen to the oldest ones like 18 months old, even though we're talking about stuff we're still talking about now, we have kicked the balls down the field, and we have fundamentally understood them more and differently. And we're working maybe on like actually different footballs. We've kind of stitched things together differently, and to really torch this analogy.
Some of them are medicine balls.
And maybe we've discarded some, or we've picked up some other things. Like we've not just moved everything along a foot or 2 feet.
Yes.
Like we have changed a lot of what we're doing. And by the time we get to the end, we will be where we want to be. Is how it feels. Like I keep thinking this at the moment. Lots of people that I know are jumping around different genres. And there are some really popular genres right now. Like lots of people are in like romantic, really popular genre, and I can absolutely see why if you're very good at studying a genre, you would be like, I'm going to jump into a new genre and like do really well in that. And like that doesn't appeal to me at all because I really love mysteries, and I can't imagine having to start from scratch with a new genre. Like that
No.
just seems like a nightmare to me. But I keep thinking about it, right? Because like when people do that, you think, should I do that? Should I be doing that? Um, and it's like a good way for me to reaffirm, like, I am on the right path for me. I want
Yeah.
to be on this path where I 100% learn this thing that I'm doing, and I can feel myself getting better at it. And I can feel myself learning the genre better and understanding what I need to be doing better and going in a particular direction.
Yes.
So rather
Yeah.
than just like running up and down a field like a 5-year-old in football, I'm like, I'm going straight. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Whereas I think when we first started, I was like a little kid running around the field.
Yeah. I agree. We were trying too many things, and we weren't moving the football. We weren't moving many footballs down a pitch. We were
No.
just kicking one and round in a circle, and
Yeah.
like expecting a miracle. Yeah, for sure. We have definitely come very far. What other episodes did you listen to that you have big thoughts on?
So one that I listened to, because I think it's very relevant, is series 1, episode 23, when routines become the dream. And we were talking about when we quit our jobs, what will our routines be like?
Aha.
And and that was so interesting to think about. Like we were really focused on that in a very like in a very specific way. We were like, what time will I get up? What will I do in the day? How will I focus on the hours? Like that was so interesting because that's 18 months ago. And I'm doing that now. And that feels really lovely to kind of reflect back on what it was like. And I think my day is quite similar to what we were talking about then. Like I was like, I really want to have other people around. And I think I might even mention the co-working space that I currently work in now. So I knew that I wanted to be somewhere out of my house. I knew that I wanted to start early in the morning, and kind of have good hours. And like not quite office hours, but like an hour that feels like I'm starting my day rather than just being procrastinating. Yeah, and that felt really good to kind of listen back on that and be like, oh, I wanted to do a thing, I did a thing. And that's like, oh, really, really good. And also I think I could do with a refresh in the episode because I have been trying to figure out. I just took November to try and figure out like what do I really want my day to look like. Because I've taken December off and not at the co-working space. I want to just spend November with like a low pressure, try different days, see what happens. And I definitely found like I could easily spend my days doing things that feel busy and important and like keeping me going, keeping me well, and do no writing and like nothing to do with writing. It's like
Yeah.
actually it's quite a lot of work to like go to the gym and get good food and like cook and keep your house clean and do a little bit of admin, and you're like, gosh, the day's done. Okay, that's the end of my day. But obviously that is why people say like you never write anymore when you've gone full time, because actually you're doing a lot more that is keeping you healthy and safe and sane.
Yes, and also you don't have a wife or a
Yeah.
husband, if you're lucky, to look
I mean, a
after you.
wife would be the ideal if I
Yeah.
were not straight.
Yeah. So you don't. A lot of things take up your day, but also just living your life take up your day, like cooking meals, running
Yeah.
errands, doing like the washing, or sorting out the fact that you've got no phone line or someone drives into your
Yeah.
house. Like there's so much
It's always
to
me.
deal. Yeah, so much to deal with, and you're still trying to fit in writing around that. And I think that's always going to be a hard thing because life is just like is very demanding, and if you're doing it on your own, that's even like that's the most demanding. I know people if you've got kids and stuff, yeah, sure, but
But
generally,
they should be sorry for me living by myself.
yeah, like you
Yeah.
living by yourself. It
That
is
is
a
the real hard
it's
slog.
a different it's a different type of difficult thing. So yeah, like you're
Yeah,
doing
and
a
I think
good job.
I think also I could really keep pushing myself like I was pushing myself when I was working, like really just live right at the edge of exhaustion. But I don't want to. I'm consciously trying to be like, how would I find a healthy way to feel good in my body and like in myself, and that has been so nice to do. And just taking that time out to say, I know I've got a whole book to read today that Amazon says takes 7.5 hours to read, but like, why don't I go for a walk? Why don't I go for a large
But
hike
that's
to the middle of
that is
nowhere?
the dream, though, isn't it? You want to be able to
That's what,
work and also
yeah,
do all the stuff that sounds like a good life, and you
yeah,
deserve to have that. You shouldn't have to be exhausted to do the thing that you want to do. You
yeah,
should be able to go for a walk and still read 7 hours worth of a book.
yeah. I could have timed that better. I feel like going for like a 12-mile walk through the hills was like, that was not the day for that. But I wanted to, so I did. And it's nice to have that capacity. Yeah. And just to feel like I can do things like decide to make videos for all these like serial chapters going up as a way that I think is useful and will connect with readers better. So yeah, it feels like my day doesn't look exactly like I thought it would look like, but actually I hadn't really allowed myself to think of things like, oh, I'm going to go to the gym in the
Hmm.
morning. I'm going to do like several gym classes a week and go on long hikes because that just feels like luxurious. And like, I'm going to make my own granola. I like, I would never have thought I would do those things because like I couldn't imagine. I don't have a wife.
Yep.
That's
Yeah.
that's the sort of thing like your wife can do, can make granola, but like
Hmm.
I'm making my own granola.
Yeah. And then prepping your own meals, which you
Yeah,
actually talked about in the Q1 review.
I
You
know.
talked about.
I talked about it in another episode as well.
Oh, was it the when buyers become fans, because we both listened to that? Was it that
Maybe.
episode? Yeah, you mentioned like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm gonna start meal prepping, and I thought, wait a
Mhm.
second,
Yeah.
you said that long ago, and you only just started.
I think in that episode about I think I said I have been meal prepping, and I think actually the time what I was doing is I was making one big like
Yes.
tray meal at a time and like having not the
Yes.
same thing every day every week, and that did not last super long because I don't enjoy eating the same meal again and again.
Hmm.
So now I've got my new tactic for meal prepping,
Yeah.
and it is working. I have not meal prepped this week because I feel like I'm just living on like still living on like party leftovers from my
Mm.
Christmas party. A lot of
Oh.
peppernoose still to
Oh
consume. It's been lovely.
goodness. I have finally had some real food today after just having basically basically pizza every day. I feel like I've
Lovely.
just
That is
had
real
pizza.
food.
Yeah, but it was
Mm.
a lot, and I feel my
But you're not
genes.
a Ninja Turtle.
My genes don't enjoy it as they're
Yeah.
getting tighter and tighter. So yeah, I was thinking about your meal prepping today, thinking, oh yeah, I need to start meal prepping,
Mm.
figuring this nutrition thing out as a woman in her later
Yeah.
years.
Just when you're listening, not watching, Sam is not 80.
Am I not? I feel it. Oh, I'm getting really targeted, just to go off on a tirade of randomness. I'm getting really targeted on Instagram with food videos, like nutrition, how to get more protein into your life, and just workout
Oh,
videos. Like so many. I think it's because
crikey.
it's coming to the end of the year, so they're trying to like show like,
It's
new
not
year,
it.
new me.
It's your algorithm because I'm just getting how to make more delicious Christmas foods.
I
Like how to
watched
get more butter into your diet.
I'm getting a lot of recipes, which I'm fine with, but I maybe watched a couple of workout videos because I do like working out, and I was like, oh, that
Hmm.
that looks good. And now it's just about people losing weight and women of a certain age having to exercise, and I'm not interacting, I don't want it, and
No.
I'm just being attacked by Instagram. Attacked. Oh, I need to get back on Bookstagram and get away from all this. They're really hammering fitness and food at me. And it's not even the good
Yeah.
food, it's the like how to be healthier. Like, I know I want to be healthier, but I don't need the
Not that healthy. You're not
Instagram
Instagram healthy.
to guilt me
Yeah.
into it. Oh God. Oh.
Yeah. No, I'm just getting a lot of Christmas content, which I'm here for.
Yeah. I'm just going to see if I've got anything to say about because I also listened to the When Buyers Become Fans episode in season 1.
So that is the one. Is that the one we're talking about, like post-sales marketing?
Yes, and that was something that I thought was such a fun, like big idea. And since that episode, I have not done it.
No.
It was just
I
one
think
of
that's
those
not
things.
true because I think we're both working on things that are to do with like connecting with readers more, not necessarily just in
Yes.
terms of like buy my book.
Hmm.
But I think that is a topic we need to revisit.
Yes, it's like the reframing messages trying to talk to different audiences, like a cold audience and a warm audiences. I thought that was a really fun conversation that we had, and I really enjoyed it. And I remember at the time feeling like it was an epiphany, and have since, I probably internalized it, but I haven't acted on it. Like, I haven't acted on it purposefully, and I think that that's something that I'd like to revisit, is doing the intentional things with it again.
Yeah.
But
so in that, I think we said things like, I really want to work on my my email automations.
Yes, we did
say
say
a lot
that.
of things like that. A lot of things like that, though, are things that it's a real struggle to do when you've got a day job. And like that is what my year-long admin list is made up of. It's like things like that where it's like, because redoing your email automations, that is a big thinking job, and like not a fun one. It's like figuring out where all the links go, what they do, what your automation currently looks like, what you want it to look like, how you're going to funnel people. Like, just the thinking part of it is like a solid, like a good day if you're going to really, really plan it all out. And then you've got to make it all. And there's like, and like I say a day, but like there's a day around other stuff happening. And then making it always like a day around, stuff going wrong and tech stuff happening. It's like, if you only have a couple of writing days a week, are you saying you're going to spend a whole week essentially on automations? Like that's a lot. And like, no.
Yeah.
So I haven't done it either, and that's definitely on my list. But I think it's one of the things where like it's such a big job, and you're like, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do a good job of it. So then you're like, oh well, I'll leave it till I've got magical amounts of free time where I'm just really clear thinking and I'm fully wide awake and I've got loads of time to do it. But yeah, I am going to do it.
Yeah.
Soon.
Yeah. Well, we have like challenge week coming up at some point, so
yes, very soon.
Yes, it could be part of a challenge.
Yeah. Maybe. I think it's too soon for me. Maybe the next challenge week.
Maybe next challenge. Yeah, next challenge. Yeah. So my last note that I wrote myself about our last episodes was that I love how much we opened up about obvious subjects, but we were honest about it. It all sounds quite simple, but if I was a listener earlier in my career, I would like to hear about those things in a way that's like honest and easy to understand, and listen to the things that we said that we were doing, and be able to and think that I could do those things myself. I think that was my Jerry's final thought. Is if anybody's
another relatable reference for everyone listening.
if you know who Jerry Springer is. So that was my like final thought. Was I actually think that I really thought, just to really kick us down into the dirt, I thought that we were going to sound super silly and really, really not innocent, but like have a kind of a sort of innocence about what we were talking about. And whilst I think that we did approach subjects that seem very easy, I do think that it was really helpful for us to talk about it, and I really hope that people who are going back and listening to the older episodes hear things that don't seem like too far off, like from where they are. Because when I listen to other podcasts, sometimes I think like it's great to hear, but I'm not at that stage. So
yeah,
it's all.
I think we were talking about really big topics quite quickly in terms of like mindset and like the personal side of the business, and that I do really feel glad that we did that. We didn't save that until like I've now overcome these problems, so let me reflect back on it. Like I think the purpose of the podcast was for us to like capture stuff where we are, and it was so interesting listening to things like, in those episodes where times like I was going to therapy, I was planning the series that I basically spent my whole year on, and I only really had one series at a time that's like not quite to market. And I think the episode we had like on money mindset and things like that, I was surprised by how early that came. Yeah. And I do think that was really useful. And I really like that we revisit these topics again and again, because it's like if someone like, oh, I want to think about money. And you do this sort of podcast, it's like just go and find the same episode and the same topic to see how it, is covered in different times. Then you could look at episodes on money from us and see how we have and haven't changed. Like the money mindset stuff, I think at that time we were having like an epiphany about how much your money mindset comes from your parents, and like, okay, I think we're beyond that now, but we're both not necessarily fixed in terms of money mindset.
No. No,
But I think we're better about it by quite a long way.
definitely better. I don't have as much fear around it, but I also still have my head buried in the sand with a lot of
Yeah.
stuff. But I'm working on it.
Most stuff in that episode was like, okay, next week we're going to fix this whole
Yeah.
thing. It's like,
Yeah.
they're not one and done fixes.
No. No, we were so optimistic about those things.
Yeah.
But I'm glad.
Yeah, but then we're always, like, we probably did fix the thing,
We did.
a part of
Yeah.
it, like what we could fix there. And we just keep
Yeah.
making our goals bigger and bigger. So I think that's the biggest thing that like we have reflected on. It's like sort of the topics don't change, the issues don't change. You just set bigger targets for yourself with it.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's my Jerry's final thought.
Yeah. We've come very far in what feels like a very short amount of time. But 100 episodes is also quite a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good for us. I'm very proud.
Yeah. Yeah. Well done us.
Yeah.
2 years and we've never missed a week. That
No,
feels
I
amazing.
know. I know. This feels like a touch wood kind of moment.
Yeah.
Like I'm a bit scared to ruin the streak.
I think that's a positive thing. That's like we talked about this like genius zone, in various episodes. Like if it felt even slightly hard, we would just miss weeks. We would find excuses.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
I feel more energized. I know I yawn a lot in this podcast. I don't know why. It's like Sunday evening and I'm looking at a screen. But like I feel energized in my soul after these podcast episodes.
Yeah.
And like I procrastinate on writing and I love writing and I procrastinate doing that. But like I never procrastinate on this, never say like, oh, actually, can we start half an hour? Like, can we do it tomorrow? Because I know this is like a fun thing to do. Is just like chat to you about writing and, wonder what 80s or 90s reference we're going to come up with next. Or what weird knowledge we're going to come up with. Like it's a low pressure conversation, but it feels like it improves everything about my life, both in and out of writing.
Yeah. Yes, very true. I don't have anything else to say. My notebook is now empty of thoughts. Do you have anything else to add on this?
Nope.
Okie dokie. So, thank you very much for tuning in to this 100th episode. And next week we are looking ahead at our Act 3. What do we mean by this? You ask yourself.
Yes, I almost phrased myself a much easier question, but I thought actually let's have a real question. So we have hit 100 episodes, which means we're almost at the end of year 2 because we do an episode a week. So when we were, I think towards the end of year 1, we were thinking about like how do we want to develop and improve the podcast, and is there anything we want to change about it, and does it reflect where we're at right now? And I think we realized that actually we felt quite naturally we wanted to think about it in terms of acts for a 5-act structure of a story. And it felt like in Act 1, that's the act where you're in the normal world. And we in the podcast had felt like we were making these big changes. And as we've just reflected on, we absolutely were not. We were just like going through the world thinking we were changing, like having life-changing realizations, and actually kind of everything was just getting started. And then Act 2 is like you're answering the call to adventure. Then we're like, okay, now we're going to be heading towards a business. And so we need to figure out what Act 3 is. If we're going to translate the concept of like a narrative Act 3 heading towards the midpoint, how does that translate into like what we're going to think about in terms of our business and our lives? And obviously you can't make your life follow a 5-act structure, but I think we had found that at the end of year 1, it kind of felt like we were already following that.
Yeah.
And also we're both fantasists, and it did feel like that's the way I like to think of my life, as if it's a story. So let's plot out both the podcast and our lives as this. So that is what Act 3 is. I don't currently have any ideas. I'm not really looking to plan my own climax of a story of my life. I don't know what it could be.
Nobody plans what happens in Act 3, really. It just all comes about. So I don't know what it's going to entail. I know that I do feel like I'm moving towards something. And I feel like it's something big, and I'm going to be a bit woo-woo here and say, like, my tarot readings are always, at the moment, saying, like, all the work you've been putting in is leading towards a big change where you'll reap the rewards of the work you've been doing. And it's literally the same message constantly. I keep pulling the same cards, and it's quite spooky.
I mean, also, like, next year, to be extra woo-woo, we're going into the Lunar New Year. It's the Chinese zodiac year. I think it's the year of the horse, which is also very much about like answering big challenges and making big changes. So yeah, I feel like the world, the universe is sending us
Yes.
big changes.
Yeah, I feel like I'm on the cusp of understanding something like really pivotal about my life or something. Like I really feel
Mm,
like something is gonna click. And maybe it'll click because I'm waiting for it to click. But yeah, I can feel this is like when I get something stuck in my head and I know that I just have to not think about it and then
yeah.
like the answer will come.
Like you've got a plot point, you're like, I'm just going to leave it mulling in the back of my
Yeah,
head and it will come
yes.
good.
Yeah, so I constantly have stories that I've already written and I'm constantly editing them for years when I'm not working on
Hmm.
them. And that's what I feel like I'm like my life is a book that I've written and now I'm like thinking about the next natural
See,
thing
Act
that should
Three.
happen. Yeah, so
Yeah,
I feel like I'm ready for something. And also,
yeah.
I'm also scared, but I'm excited.
Hmm.
It's just to be silly. Yeah, I'm scared and excited.
I think it'd be good,
Yeah.
but also, yeah, scary.
Yeah. So thank you everybody for listening. And if you want to help us celebrate our 100th episode, you
I'm
can
sure you
find,
do.
yeah, like surely, you can find the link to our coffee in the show notes and you can click on the link and go to our page where you can donate however much money you want. There are some set amounts, but there's also the opportunity for you to leave however much money you think we deserve. Obviously, I think we deserve millions of pounds,
Yeah.
but if you don't have millions to give, £2 is
Coffee and a
fine.
cake.
A
Yeah.
coffee and a cake.
It's a celebration after all.
Yes. Unless like Mark Zuckerberg, my actual nemesis, is listening to
Hmm.
this and
Yeah.
laughing at how Instagram's ruining my life. If you're listening, you can leave millions. You jerk.
Yeah. Billions, maybe.
Maybe even a couple of billion.
Mm.
Yes, and we also have a link to our Discord, which is it has been quiet this week because I have been away, so I haven't
I
really
was
been
going to say
in
it's not
there.
been quiet. You've been quiet.
I've been quiet because I've been away, so I've just been reading and doing nothing else. But it is such a fun place, and I always miss whenever I look in and I see I've missed loads of
Mhm.
messages. I feel like I've missed out on something. So
You have.
if you don't want to Mimo as we would say in the 90s, miss it, miss out.
No.
I know nobody else says that. I don't know where I got that from. Yeah, you can just jump into our Discord and it's free and open to anybody who wants to
Mhm.
join. Come and have fun with us. Help us celebrate. And yeah, that's basically it. I'm just blabbing now. So thank you very much. We'll see you next week.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
You've been listening to Pen to Paycheck Authors.
Stay tuned for our next episode. And don't forget to subscribe to learn how to write your way to financial success.